Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women Are Worthy show, and our YouTube channel is the Women Are Worthy Network. Let me go ahead and do general housekeeping before my team gets on me. So if you want to join our tribe, you must subscribe. Guess who came up with that one? Moi. Well, today we have, I'm always, celebrating women and loving women. Well, y'all, guess what? I'm fanning out on this one right here, this chick right here. So she's going to be doing an event and we're going to talk about that. But we're also going to talk about her and the things she does because, I created this environment for women who are doing phenomenal things. We want to talk about them and the things that they're doing. So without further ado, we have Miss Kym Feltus. She's a CEO. Come a little closer. I didn't stutter. I said CEO of Strong Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization that aids and builds awareness around domestic violence victims. Kym herself, she has survived some of the most heinous situations, and she decided, I'm not just going to be a victim. I'm going to be a victor. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to do like most folks. I'm going to help other people. You see what I'm saying? She didn't just decide to, survive and thrive. She decided to use her superpowers by helping other women. So she created a virtual Women's Empowerment Festival. It schedules this Saturday, May 15th from 1 to 2 called Conversations with Kym. Now, let me tell y'all, it's not K-I-M. So when y'all looking for her, it's not the K-I-M. She is the one and only K-Y-M, okay? So without further ado, the Women Are Worthy show, we are so happy that we landed this conversation with Kym. Hello, Miss Kym Feltus. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing?
Man, looking at you and having you on the show, I was tired, and when I saw what you look like, babe.
Well, thank you. I went to the doctor today, and so my appointment ran over. So I said, let me rush and get home, only to forget about the gas shortage. So now I'm stuck waiting on my publicist to come and rescue me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to log in like this. I didn't do my hair. I ain't changed my clothes, but I'm going to log in like this because I would not miss this for the world. So thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. But here's the issue that I have. If this is what you look like on your down day, if this is what you look like, okay, y'all. Okay. I need a stylist because if this is what she looked like on her down day,
you're being nice. Thank you, though.
So I want to talk a little bit about you because so often in on social media, everything looks perfect in everyone's life. You're doing amazing things, and I want to know, who is Kym Feltus? Who is she?
Kym Feltus. I am from Dallas, Texas. I am the daughter of pastors. I was raised in church. I'm an accountant. I'm a mother of 3 beautiful sons. Kym likes to have fun. This is just the, personal side.
We can't hear you. You're mute.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. I love to read. I love to write. I love music. So that's the simple side of Kym. That's who I am.
So you're very creative, as one can tell, because you're in the arena that you're in. It basically gives birth to creativity. So we love that. Now we want to know, how did we just want to talk briefly because I know you've experienced domestic violence. And what I'm doing on our show, what we try to do with Conversations, we want people to connect to what you're doing, and by sharing your story. And it doesn't have, just speak whatever you want to speak about, because again, it's not my show, it's your show. I'm just here to facilitate it. I'm just here to facilitate
I'll take over. No play.
Look, no problem. So just because we want women to see that just because we're success, because I'm a victim of, not a victim, I'm a survivor of sex trafficking. We want to show people what healed looks like, and, or the healing process.
Right.
Because we don't have to.
Yes.
We don't have to stay stuck in the past. So if you can be gracious to share some of your story, because we want someone who's out there who's going through or who have gone through to see, like, wait a minute, she looked like that. Ain't no way she been, because you don't have to wear your scars on the outside. You can have them on the inside. So
Absolutely.
if you can you please share, please?
Yes, absolutely. I think my journey started when I was raped at 18 by a family member. I was going right into college, and I think that incident really shaped me as a woman early off, right? Back then, and I'm not old, but I'm saying, in our community, it's not really discussed, the sexual abuse. And so I was taught to be quiet. I was taught to not do anything about it. But it really, really devalued me as a woman, as a young woman. And so my viewpoints of myself were tarnished at that time. So yeah, that was a hard beginning. And I think that trauma led into domestic violence relationships, because it really devalued how I felt about myself in these relationships. So I allowed things in relationships that I should not have allowed as a woman. But because I was taught to keep quiet, because I was taught to put up with it, I did that in the relationships. So I found myself in an extremely abusive marriage. And I had 2 beautiful sons in that marriage. And and funny enough, we're good friends now. He's got help. And we co-parent very well together. So, I'm not here to bash him, because I believe in God healing people and giving people second chances. And, we were young as well. But that incident, that marriage really, really did a number on me. So coupled with the abuse that I experienced at 18, I knew I had to get some help. So I began therapy, and I began therapy before that, but I really, really began therapy after the domestic violence. And so getting to the core issue of Kym, and that does not happen overnight, especially if abuse has been embedded into who you are as a person. You have to literally put in the work to really peel back all of the hurt, the anger, the dysfunction, the insecurities. All that has to be addressed, and sometimes we don't know how to address it. But let me say this, because I'm still in therapy now. I go to therapy at least once a month just to keep myself centered. I believe anyone who's experienced trauma or sexual abuse or domestic violence, to keep themselves in some type of, accountability program with some professional, to make sure that you are properly expressing yourself to someone who can really, point out things to you that you would not normally see. So it's important for me to stay in therapy. But strangely enough, when I started to heal, and for real heal, I found myself feeling guilty of happiness. And I found myself feeling guilty of moving on. You know what I mean? And so I had to sit and ask myself, like, why am I feeling guilty? And, one thing I learned is because when you have so much dysfunction in your life, that's become the norm. That's what you're used to. And so I learned how to find peace in dysfunction. And a lot of us do, because that's just our defense mechanism. And so allow myself to really find peace, really found happiness. I remember the first time I really laughed, and it was genuine. And I was like, oh, this was laughter with no guilt. You know what I mean? This was came from a healed place. And so that's been my journey. I started the Strong Foundation because I know victims feel voiceless. I know victims feel like no one believes them. They don't feel like they're supported. I know how that feels. And so if I can help in any way, be a voice to someone who feels voiceless, support someone, listen to their stories and their experiences, and let them know I'm here with you and I believe you. I mean, I think that's just my main mission when it comes to the Strong Foundation.
What would you, if knowing what you know now, what would you tell the younger version, let's say this, the 19-year-old version of Kym, what would you tell her, knowing what you know now? What would you tell the younger version of yourself?
It's okay. You're going to be okay. I often go back to the little girl inside of me. I do that. I think all of us as women have to do that because that little girl is still there. She never leaves us, right? That little girl who had the insecurities, the fears, the doubts, that comes up out of us ever so often.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I do as a woman today, the woman that I am today, I secure her.
Mm-hmm.
I secure that little girl and I tell her, you're going to be fine.
And that's good that you're doing that. I like that you're doing that. And have you, because you've given your permission to also, because sometimes we may feel guilty of what happened. So we have to give ourselves permission to say, it's okay, it's fine, I forgive you, because sometimes you feel helpless. So, and I'm with you on that because I go to therapy and I go once a month or whenever. I call it a tune-up because
There you go.
if you can get, you're driving your car every 3,000 miles, you have to change your
Right.
oil. We need to do that with our bodies, and people don't understand that, and especially in the Black community. And I'm Jamaican and Cuban, so that's even worse when it comes to therapy. So I done broke the mold, honey. Okay, I got the double whoopee on me. So I realized in order for me to feel healed, or because I was in a toxic environment, in a toxic place in my head where I was being nasty to people and I didn't realize what was going on. And then going to therapy because I closed that, I compartmentalized that. So then going to therapy made me like, oh, wow, this is my trauma. This is what happened to me. So then I started to heal. Man, it was a lot of crying. It was a lot of headaches. It was a lot of, oh my God, because you have to deal with that nastiness so
Yeah.
I commend you, first of all, because lady, you are one classy chick. You hear me?
Oh,
One classy
you're
chick.
so sweet.
No, baby, no, I tell the truth because if someone ain't, I just keep it to myself. But you are, and I love the fact that you're out here and you're supporting other women and you want to show other women this is what healed looks like. You don't have to be embarrassed about it because in our community, if you were raped and whatever, it was an embarrassment. You don't talk about it.
Right.
And I like the fact that you're doing it. So what led you to have this wonderful virtual out of sight event that's coming on now on Saturday? What's up with that? Come on.
So Conversations with Kym was birthed in LA. I moved to LA. I had an event then called T-shirts and Brunch, but it was benefiting my foundation.
Okay.
Vivica Fox was coming to make an appearance. And at the event, I gave my story to the attendees. And as I told my story, Vivica literally interrupted me. And she's like, listen, your story has touched me in a way that I want to attach my brand to your foundation. So any way I can use my platform to, help be a voice for these women and for you, I'm here to do it. And that's where it started in 2016. And literally, she has kept her word the whole time. She has used her platform to help our community in so many ways. She's treated me just like royalty. And she gave me the permission that I needed. She validated me. She validated me to say it's okay to tell your story and I'm here with you. And so I wanted to pay that forward to other women. And that's why we started Conversations with Kym. We did the Stella Awards. We did the BET Awards. We did a couple other cities. And then I kind of fell off of it because I'm a CEO of my own company. And so I started focusing on my business. Mm-hmm. Well, the pandemic hits, right? And so then I'm hearing about all the domestic violence statistics, how it spiked and there was a rise in domestic violence, and my heart just, I'm like, okay. So I felt that was God leading me back into that space. And so I called Vivica and said, hey, I had the idea to bring Conversation with Kym back. I think we need it, especially post-pandemic, to allow opportunity for our community to heal and to recollect and recharge, especially after the trauma we all experienced this past year. This time we are doing it a little different because we're including the men. And we're going to have men's perspectives on domestic violence, right? I have a young man named Norris J who's going to be on one of our panels, And him and his wife have been married 20 years now, but the first 3 years of the marriage, he abused her. And he talks about how basically, he got the healing that he needed to, change, and how much therapy he went through. He's a Christian, so, his faith pulled him through as well. And so just hearing his story and him being transparent, I feel like it's going to help a lot of men and women. So I don't want to just focus on the victims. I do want to focus on the abusers, because I feel like as a community, we have to come together and start some level of healing, and get an understanding, so our next generation does not have to suffer the same things we've had to suffer. And I think that's our responsibility. So that's why I include the men. And I also want to tell women, there's things we have to address within ourselves, especially if you are used to abuse. You're going to continuously attract abuse. I don't care how many men you break up with and redate or whatever. You're going to get the same thing over and over until you address the core issues of Kym, of myself. I'm going to get the same thing over and over again. And so, us taking responsibility for our own healing is key. And so I don't want to just sit and blame all day long. Yeah, it's not okay. It's not acceptable. It will never be acceptable. But you have control of your healing. So let's tap into that, and let's come together as a community, as a family, and heal, especially the Black community. And let's give hope for the next generation. That's my desire.
And I like that. And there's also a population that we don't talk about because it's very embarrassing to them, where women are abusing men.
Absolutely.
And we don't talk about that. And men, there's so many men, because, I did a show talking about men who are abused. Men don't want to come forward. They don't want to press charges because that whole macho thing where you let her hit you and all that kind of stuff. So we have those populations, and we as women need to be accountable if we're doing that as well. Agreed. So I like that you're opening up the conversations, because for me, I like to educate the younger generation, because we want to break that generational curse. Yes. We want to make sure, because secrets kill, as I call it, especially in the Black community, the Asian community, Latina community. The secrets kill. We keep it within ourselves. It bubbles up, and then you find we end up hurting our children, things like that. So I like the fact that you're opening up this conversation. It's in a safe place. And like my show, I'm pretty sure what you're doing is it's a non-judgmental zone. Right. We're just let's put it on the line, because we always talk to victims. Let's also talk to the abusers. Not that we're giving them a pass, but it's also showing other women that you can forgive your abuser if they're seeking help, if they're seeking God, and if they're being totally transparent and they want the help. So I love the fact that you have the husband and wife, and she's with him, and so I think that girl, you hit the nail on the head, baby. Yes, you got that. So, and the fact that Vivica's attached to it, and all the other people that are attached to it. So, because I understand working your 9 to 5, which is my company, and then you have a foundation. Because for me, I'm an advocate for sex trafficking and talking to women, and showing women. When I said this is what he looks like, this year I'll be married, I think 32 years. I can't remember.
Wow,
He knows. So I'm like the Black unicorn, and I know I don't look it, so I'm like, I look really good for it.
Girl, you do.
Girl. It's the filter.
Aren't you 28? How are you married 32 years?
It's my doctor, honey. It's the filter. Okay. It's the filter. So this is the effects I tell people of plant-based eating. No, but this is what we, it's so good when they talk about Black women don't do anything. We're doing a lot. And that's why I do these shows, so the younger generation can see we're not just about ourselves. We making it, we doing wonderful, boss moves, but we're also giving back to the community. So I commend you for because you don't have to do this. And I'm glad that God placed it on your heart to do this. So what are the things you want to talk about this event? Because I know you got stuff to do and places to go in a minute. So what's going on?
Honey, I'm here with you. I'm present with you. So what I love about this event, it's virtual. It's all virtual. It's on a very good platform called Hopin. Hop-In is extremely interactive. I mean, they have networking, they have virtual vendor booths, you have your different stages, and it's going to be very, very nice. And so we have 4 stages, right? 1, 2, 3, I believe so. Yeah. So, or it's 5 stages. So the first stage is our health and wellness stage, which includes my therapist, who's wonderful. And we have a celebrity trainer, Corey Taylor's his name. And so they'll be talking about the importance of health and wellness, the importance of therapy, the importance of working out, how they work together in your healing. It's going to be a great room. We also have a stage for, it's a gospel stage. It's a gospel brunch experience. That's going to be a great stage. We have Latrice Ryan speaking. She is a powerhouse.
Yes, I love her.
Yeah.
I remember her. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
And what she's speaking on is, I think everyone will be inspired. So we have her. We have Dorinda Clarke Cole. We have Byron Cage. We have a number of gospel artists. We have brunch with Micah and Heidi Stampley. And so I could not do the gospel room because I'm a church girl at heart. So, and everyone needs some inspiration. We also have a room called the Virtual Black Wall Street. It talks about Black business and Black tech, Black entrepreneurship. So we have, now this room, listen, I could have charged $100 per head for this room because we have, the panel is amazing. We have Hill Harper on.
Oh, wow.
And Hill Harper just kicked off an initiative for Black Wall Street where they are investing into Black businesses and Black technology.
So I got to get him on our show. Yeah.
Oh, he's amazing. We have 2 Black women who mentor me actually, who are venture capitalists. And so you don't hear of Black women venture capitalists.
That's rare.
So they actually invest seed money into startups, into companies. So they're going to teach us how to get the money for your business, how to obtain the financing, how to do a pitch deck, how to, you know what I mean? So it's going to be very knowledgeable. We have Isaac Hayes as well. Isaac Hayes III.
Oh, his son?
His son started an app called Fanbase, which is the first Black social media app.
Wow.
And he's raised over $5 million in crowdfunding. He's the first African-American man to ever do so. So he's going to be on teaching us how to get funding as well. So, you know, as a Black entrepreneur, I have my tech company. I know how hard it is to get funding. So I know the importance of, hey, the money is out there. We're going to teach you how to go get it for your company. So we have that stage. And of course, I told you about the men versus women perspective on domestic violence. And then we have our main stage with Vivica A. She's co-hosting with me. Eva Marcille, who's also a survivor. I don't know if you knew that. But
with her ex-husband.
And then we have Tyler Lepley. And Tyler Lepley plays a role on P-Valley where he's helping a friend through domestic violence, you know, and trying to, you know, help her through that process. We have Trina Braxton. We have Chaz Shepard. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We have Tweet performing. I love Tweet. We have a live DJ, DJ Chick. She will be our live DJ. So we're going to have a good time. I don't want to make it too serious. I want to have joy. I want to, you know, be happy and then leave knowledgeable. And I want people to leave impacted. I want their lives to be impacted in a way where if you're not a victim, I'm going to do whatever it takes to help those who are. I'm going to be a support to those, you know, and if you are a victim, hey, I'm going to do the work necessary in me to start my healing journey. And so I'm excited. I'm exhausted, honestly, but I am excited. And my prayers are that, you know, everyone enjoys.
Everyone will enjoy it because I call it the 3 E's. You're entertaining, you're empowering, and you're also entertaining, empowering, and I can't remember the third one right now. I'm so exhausted. Entertaining, empowering, whatever the 3 is. We can come up with it.
You gotta tell me that one. I like.
Yeah, because that's what I have on my thing, and I can't even remember it. It's entertaining, empowerment, and let me see if I have a card in here so I can tell you what it is. Yeah, educating, empowerment, and entertaining. That's what I have on my card. Yeah. So that's what we're doing, the 3 E's, because you're educating, entertaining, and you're empowering. Well, you don't want it to be too serious, and you're putting everything together so everyone can enjoy it. Because it sounds like you're giving a buffet, but you're leaving for me, you're leaving with a 5-course meal. You know, even though it's a buffet, that's what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
You can pick and choose, but it's so good. You're going to want a little bit of everything. And when you leave, you're going to be burping because you were so educated and full, you know? So you're giving, to me, you're fueling the spirit, food for the soul. That's what I'm hearing right now, because we need healing as a country. And it has definitely spiked when it comes to, you know, domestic violence and stuff. Your camera's off. But yeah, we can't see you. I thought you was like, okay, gotta go. Nope, can't see you.
No, I'm not trying. I don't know what happened. Can you see me?
No, ma'am.
Okay, there we go.
You can see you now. Nope, disappeared again. Yep,
there we go.
Got you. So where do you see your organization within 3 years?
Oh my, that is such a wonderful question. No one has asked me that, so thank you. Listen,
I'm Jackie Charles.
Exactly. I lived in Beverly Hills for 3 years, and I remember living there, and I'm like, I want a home here in Beverly Hills at an undisclosed location for women who are running from certain situations, because they deserve the best during this time. They deserve the best anyway. And what better way to build someone up? And I feel like Beverly Hills is just symbolic of, you know,
the best of the best.
What better way to build a woman up when she's going through trauma than to pamper her? Not just pamper her, build her back up, educate her, like you said, provide a place of refuge, a place where they can come and relax. Because I know the pressure of, you know, going through those situations. It's a lot of pressure. So my desire is to have a home for women across the country, for them to come to, not have to worry about who, you know, who's going to pay for my next meal or who's going to pay my rent, but they have a place of refuge for a certain time to get built back up. Because I think the building process is so important, and having a space of peace to do that is important. And I want to provide that for women. We do have an initiative called the Lead Strong Bag right now, which is a bag that, you know, houses or you know, has important documentation like birth certificates, any bank information. You can put an extra cell phone in there, your extra set of keys, some cash, you know, toiletries, some clothes, because I found myself in those situations where I can only just grab a trash bag and dump some clothes in there and grab my sons and leave. Or he took my keys and my phone and I couldn't leave, right? So if you have something, you know, an escape to help you, you know, assist you into leaving that type of situation, it's so helpful. Because I found myself homeless with a trash bag at a women's battered women's shelter. So that initiative is near and dear to my heart. And that's just the start for me. But again, I would love to have homes across this country that builds these women up, where they have a place to stay for them and their kids.
And I like that, because I know before I started doing the show, in the beginning when I was doing the show, I would always ask women, why didn't you leave? Why did you? And then they explained to me, Jackie, we don't want to hear why didn't we leave, because we have to create an exit plan. Yes. We can't just get up and leave. We have to pack the bags, hide it somewhere. And then when I saw Enough, the movie with Jennifer Lopez, that made me realize. And then so I tell my friends, when someone says that they're battered or abused, don't ask them, why did you stay? Never. That's an insulting question. We don't know, because you stay for the kids, you stay for whatever, but the goal is not to stay. The goal is, and then when you go to your parents' house, and if he has the money, your mom would probably say, go back to him, you know, things like that. So we talk about that. So when I'm educated, and even, you know, when my team is watching the show, I still want to educate other people, because when I hear that, you know, why didn't they leave, Jackie? The hairs in the back of my neck stands up, and then I have to educate them. So let's say President Biden is watching the show and he says, you know what? I'm liking this Kym with the Y name. I'm liking her. So what I want to do is I'm going to pass a law. It's going to go in. I'm going to give her $20 million. what's the first two things? Now we know you want to build a home, so that's separate from this. What two things would you like to see?
I think for me, more protection from police when you report a domestic violence situation. I feel like right now there's so many loopholes to allow the perpetrator to come back and kill you. Okay. So the level of protection is not enough. Let me say that. It's not enough. I feel like there's laws that should be passed. If you have put your hands on someone, you need to go automatically go to jail. We cannot risk, especially in the Black community. Black women have the highest rate of domestic violence. Think about that. So we need to make sure that these perpetrators are in custody and allow the woman a chance to get, herself together, her family together. There's no opportunity for that unless it's extremely egregious, like near death, But a lot of times we cannot predict when a perpetrator is going to really kill the victim. So I feel like there should be laws around them that automatically, protects the victim. Another thing is, and I thought about this before, cell phones. Sometimes, because financial abuse is real, okay? Sometimes if the victim's cell phone is in the perpetrator's name and he cuts her off. I found myself in this situation, and I know this may be simple. He cut me off. I didn't have any contacts. He had my cell phone. I went into AT&T and begged them, can you please give me access to his account so I can at least get my number back so people can contact me? And they were like, well, because he's the account holder, we can't do that. I feel like if you have a police report, that says, hey, this person abused me, for any situation, I think, a company should be held accountable to actually appease these victims to make it easier for them, And so I think those laws should be passed to protect the victim more and to allow them a better way of escape. Because I think the laws really favor the perpetrator.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So $20 million is on the table. What would you do with the $20 million other than building the homes?
Wow. I think building more awareness. Wow, that's a great question. I would create a fund for women when they're in need. So, if they want to leave and they don't have a career or they don't have a job and they're dependent on that person financially, yes, we need to, be able to provide financial assistance to them. I think that would be what I would do with that money, dedicated to that, to make sure that these women have money to live and start all over.
And I like that because you're running. Okay, so you're putting me somewhere and I'm only there temporarily. And if I wasn't working and if I was a stay-at-home mom, what do I do? Okay, you put me out here, you're putting me in a place, and I can only be there for 30, 60, 90 days. What do I do when I leave? I may have to go back to him, or he may be nice and call and persuade my family to give him where I am, and I meet up with him, and it hit me because a couple of days ago, I don't know if you're aware of this, there was a murder-suicide at the epicenter it was in the epicenter, not in the epicenter, but behind the epicenter on the premises. And that is in, I think it's in Austell, Georgia, right? And the boyfriend apparently met the girlfriend, and I guess something ensued in there. And she wrote on Facebook stating that today's going to be that kind of day. This is her message she wrote on Facebook. And then he meets her wherever she was. I don't know if to end it or whatever. I guess it's one of those, if I can't have you, no one else can. So he shoots her and then kills himself. And I'm saying, we know there was something going on. So I think they're trying to figure out what else happened. But it's just a shame to, maybe she wanted to meet up with him. Because she worked there. She was a worker there.
Okay.
So yeah, she worked there. So it's not like he just, let's meet up here. She worked there. And then the thing is, the trauma that this guy did not realize. So people who witness that, you don't, the trauma that they're coming out, going to their car, and they're witnessing this. So I think we have to definitely do the education and what you're saying, and just keep talking about it and making women aware about it, young girls, because they're dating guys and the guys are like, I told you. So it starts with the tone, then it starts with the possessiveness and the shoving and then the slapping and then the isolation. So we need to, so for me, with my young interns and mentees, I try to ask them about their relationships and, talk about things like this to them, try to educate them on it's okay to leave. It's okay. Right. So it's just been a pleasure talking to you.
Oh my
and I wish you so much success. I wish you abundance. I wish you prosperity and peace and success, baby, because you got it. This event, you're going to just like check next. The sponsors are gonna be like, okay, when's your next event?
I'm already being asked that. I'm like, y'all, let me get
told you.
Let me get
told you.
I've been working on this since January. So I mean, it's been a long time coming. But hey, if you want to attend, you could attend for free. By registering free. Okay. Now we are accepting donations, and all the proceeds go to the Strong Foundation, but it is free to register. Go to Conversations with Kym, and that's KYM, Kym with a Y.com. You can register there. And listen, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. These people that I have put together, let me tell you, the knowledge, the wisdom, the entertainment, it is going to be priceless. And I'm really, really grateful that I can use my platform to actually have this event. So I'm very humbled and I'm grateful for this opportunity. So please join us Saturday, May 15th at 12 noon Eastern.
Y'all better be there, be square. So y'all don't be talking about women don't do nothing or you don't know nothing. Here we're bringing someone on who has, all you got to do is show up, okay? She's gonna show out, her people gonna show out. All you need to do is show up. And again, join, tell a friend, tell everybody. If one person can tell 5 people and all 5 of y'all join, why not make this a sisterhood thing? Y'all all, like a Zoom kind of thing where meaning you're going to join the platform that she has, but call all your girlfriends and everybody's in a different location and y'all go on, enjoy. Y'all going to get some gospel stuff. So y'all going to get a little bit of Jesus juice. She bringing y'all some Jesus juice. And she's going to have, some marital people going to be talking about things. Vivica Fox. We talk about Vivica Fox. Now she's going to be there. Eva Marcille from Atlanta Housewives, and she's gone through domestic violence with her first father of her child. So, I mean, come on, y'all. Show up, show out. Yeah. We want to support this lady. Yeah. Okay. We want the community to see. We want the sponsors to see that she got the numbers. Okay. Because it's all about a number thing. So we're talking about we don't support each other. Shut up and stop talking about we don't support. And support. And support. Okay. So, Kym, I know you have so many things to do. And just, if there's anything else we can do, what I'm going to do is when I do this, I'm going to link it, and I'm also going to link the flyer so you can watch the video, and I'm going to link it to all social media.
Thank you so much. We got to do this again, though. I loved it. Welcome. We got to do this again. Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Yes. Jesus.
I enjoyed it. Yes.
I enjoyed it too, and it's a pleasure. So, let me know if there's anything we can do through David. Just let us know, and we're here to support you because I love what you're doing, and I want you to make sure you take some time for self-care. I mean, all jokes aside,
thank you.
Take some time for self-care because what good is it that you're helping other people if you're not helping yourself? So take time to either a vacation, a massage. Take time to take care of yourself, okay?
I will. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to our Women Are Worthy YouTube channel. It's the Women Are Worthy Network. And make sure you share. Have a good day.